In today's video, we are going to look at a few tips on how to use a calculator to answer certain questions in statistics. Now, when we have a data set like the one that we have here, you can get the mean by adding all the numbers, and then you divide by 7. You just have to count how many numbers we have: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. You divide by 7, and then you'll get the sum there, and then you divide by 7, you get that. That is the mean. The maximum is very easy. You just check the highest of them, and then the lowest, that will be the minimum. And then the range, you take the highest minus the lowest. Now, sometimes in exam you may want to use a calculator to answer this type of questions, or maybe you want to verify your answers after doing them manually. With a calculator, we can also do that. We have to put it on, and then what we are going to do, we have to put in the data set that we have, these numbers that we have here. We have to put them in a calculator. So what we have to do here, since you are dealing with statistics, therefore we have to go to mode, and then what we can see there is the number 2 showing us that. So if we can press 2, you can see there are 8 options. So what we want to do, we only want to get the mean, the sum, the minimum and the maximum. So the only thing that we need to do is to press 1. Press 1. Now, where you see this column, we see the X. Above there you can see state. So we can now put in the data. Now the first number that we have there is 24. We punch 24 and then equal. We punch 29 and then equal. We punch 21 and then equal. We also put in 26 and then equal. We put in 31 and then equal. We put in 35 and then equal, and then we put in 27 and then equal. Now what we can see here, let's quickly verify what we can see here. Let's go where we started. We have 24, which is the first number, and then we have 29, we have 21, we have 26, we have 31, and then we have 35, and then we have 27. So once we have that data in the calculator, we can now press our AC. Now we can start getting what we want. Let's start with the sum. We add all the numbers. What do we get? So to get the sum, you press shift or second function on other calculators, and then you press 1 where you see state. Now what we can see there, we have 4 options, not 4 but 5. So to get the sum, you can see sum is at number 3. So you press 3, and then what you can see there, we have 2 options. Sum, we have to press 2. This symbol that we have here, means summation, means you are adding all the values of X. So we press 2, and then equal. So it means when you add all these numbers, you should get 93. The same 93 that I have here is the same 93 that I have on the calculator. What we can also do, we can also get to see if you cannot be able to count how many numbers do we have here. If you have them in the calculator will tell you how many numbers did we put in. We still press shift or second function and then 1. Now this one, to see how many numbers did we put in, we press option 4. The first option, number 1, where you see N, that standing for numbers that we entered in the calculator. So we press 1 and then equal. It means we entered 7 numbers. So we can verify that. Let's see if there are 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Indeed, they are 7. What is next? Let's get the mean. Like we said, we can get this mean on the calculator as long as the numbers are punched in correctly. We still go to shift and then 1. We go to option 4. Now the mean I indicated here, where you see this symbol, the X and the bar at the top, that is the mean. You press 2, that is option 2, and then equal. You should be able to see these numbers here, 27.57 and other numbers. So normally when we are writing, our calculator did not round the number, so we can round to 3 significant figures or to 1 decimal place. That is our mean. What else can we get here? Let's press shift and see some other options that are coming up. Okay, we are done with the sum. We are done with the mean and then the number of elements that we entered in the calculator. We can also check among these numbers which number is the maximum and which number is the minimum, and that is option 5. You can see option 1 is the minimum, and then we press equal. The minimum is 21, which is exactly what we have here. And then we can also get the maximum, option 5. Maximum is option 2, equal 35. 35 is exactly what we have there. So play around with the calculator and see what you're getting. All those options, try to play around and then you see what is the calculator giving you. But if you want to go back to the numbers that you entered in the calculator, you can now go to option 2 where you see data. You go to option 2 and then you can see the numbers there. If you want to change any number, then you can just punch in that number. Now once you are done with statistics, you want to erase. Remember, these numbers now, it means they are already in the system. They are in the memory of the calculator. Once you are done, it means you need to clear the memory. To clear the memory, you press mode and then you press 1. And then you don't see somewhere at the top there, you don't see state. That means it is now back to normal. In short, that is how we can actually get a few things on statistics, especially the mean, the sum, the maximum, the minimum, and all other things. The other things that I did not show you is standard deviation, which I don't think is required for our level. Please, if you did not subscribe to this channel, please do so for more videos.